Today, we're talking about this. We're talking about hair product, all right? Something that I'm incredibly passionate about. I'm so passionate, I started a hair product company 10 years ago, Pete and Pedro. I'm gonna link to it down below. There's also gonna be a discount code if you guys wanna grab any of the products that we talk about. You know, when I started with hair, there really only were a couple product options, right? You had gel, right? You had mousse, you had hairspray, you had a pomade, and typically you were gonna have some type of hair cream or paste. Well, over the years, things have changed. Now you've got everything from thickening creams to salt sprays to smooth texturizing creams to curl cream, pomades, paste, gels, and texture powder. What about texture powder? Where does that fit into the equation? Exactly, gentlemen, there are tons of hair products on the market. And the problem with this is that A, it's confusing. You don't know what's gonna be best for you or the hair or the style that you're going for. And one of the other problems is that it's expensive just to try products, right? If you're buying like cheap products in the grocery store, it's a little bit more affordable. But if you're going with a higher quality product that's good for your hair, right, that's not gonna dry it out or make it like not good or healthy, right, it can be expensive. And so today, in an attempt to help you love your hair and maximize your styling sexiness, I'm gonna do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, the ultimate hair product selection tutorial. When it comes to hair products, a few words that you're gonna hear all the time are hold and shine. You probably know, but let me just give you a refresher. Hold is referring to how much hold or how little movement that hair is gonna have once it's actually applied, right? High hold means it's not gonna move. Low hold means you're gonna have a little bit more natural flow and look to the hair, all right? Shine is something else. If it's shiny, right, it's gonna bounce the light. This is something that's gonna make your hair look a little bit wetter or not quite so dry. The lower shine is going to make your hair look more natural and less shiny. Let's start with the lowest hold and the lowest shine and kind of work our way up. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the Pre-Styler, a sea salt spray. A few squirts in damp hair or dry hair, right? Work it in. It's gonna basically add a little bit of texture, a little bit of volume to your hair, and it's also going to just make it not like so flat or lifeless. Because one of the problems with not using any product is that your hair can become a little bit flat. The sea salt basically is gonna go in and just add a little bit of like, almost like grittiness. The second product we're gonna talk about is right here. It is a texturizing powder, all right? So one of the big trends with hair is basically more natural looking hair, right? Guys don't wanna look like they've got a lot of product in it. And so texturizing powder is an amazing thing that you guys have to try, all right? The way that this works is pretty amazing, all right? In either dry hair or hair that you applied salt and then dry, because this stuff needs to be applied to dry hair. Basically, you come in and you just sprinkle a little bit, right? You don't need a ton, and then you simply work it into your hair, all right? Now, I use it in conjunction with sea salt along with a putty, which we'll talk about in a minute, but the texturizing powder is gonna go in and just add a little bit of volume, and it's gonna actually allow you to like style your hair and it not look like you've got anything in it. The other cool thing about the texturizing powder is that you can go in and like restyle it throughout the day. It also holds up very well to heat. So like in the summertime, if you have a problem with going outside and the heat basically like melts your hair or your hair goes flat, using or combining or cocktailing a texturizing powder into your hairstyling combination is a great way to add that volume, but also have your hair product and style stay. So if we're gonna base like the hold and the shine on like a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being like max, 1 being 0, I would say hold for this is gonna be around a 4 or a 5. You get decent hold. In terms of shine, it's basically gonna be like a 1. It's like a matte product, which a lot of guys love. Next up is the hair thickening and texturizing cream, all right? So this product is great for you guys out there that, once again, don't wanna look like you've got a lot of product in there, but you want a little bit of hold, all right? The shine on this is gonna be low, about a 1 or a 2. Not much shine, meaning it's not gonna reflect light. In terms of hold, it's also gonna be relatively light, around a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, the beautiful thing with this product is that if you're somebody that has thinner hair or you're thinning, right, this is a great product to add because it's not gonna weight your hair down, but it's also gonna add a little bit of thickness to the individual hair strands, making it look fuller and thicker. So next up is a cream, all right? So the cream is going to be, once again, a lighter hold product. Anytime you see the word cream, it's gonna be lighter hold, all right? The shine on a cream is gonna be around a 3, so it's gonna give a healthy, like shiny glow without it looking wet like a gel or a pomade, all right? The other thing that I love about a cream is that if you're somebody that has longer hair, or if you're rocking like the bro flow and you really want it to look as natural but just healthy as possible, the cream is going to be a perfect option for you because it's going to help like smooth the flyaways and frizz and just basically make your hair look sexy, silky, smooth, but controlled. The curl cream is for you guys out there that have curly hair that want it to look natural but not wet and like oily or crunchy, all right? The cream for curly hair, guys, is one of the things that I would highly recommend. If you've got curly hair and you want to embrace it, this is going to be perfect. It's going to basically allow those curls to be more pronounced without making them hard and crunchy or oily or greasy. It's also going to add a little bit of texture. It's going to smooth flyaways and frizz. This is the perfect option for you guys that have super curly hair or even a nice wave. It's a great product to control the frizz and flyaways, but just define the curls better. Next up is a hair paste. Paste is basically a 5 on the hold scale, a 5 on the shine scale. It's gonna be a little bit shinier than a cream or leave-in conditioner, but it's also gonna offer more hold. It's perfect for a guy that has medium to long hairstyles, right? That wants to basically like push it back or have a little bit of shine, but have a good manageability about it. Because one of the downsides of using something like a cream or a thickening or a texturizing cream, right, is the fact that it's not gonna like style and like stay typically. It's gonna move around a lot. Now, the cool thing is that you can run your fingers through your hair and basically it's going to reset or reposition it, but a paste is basically gonna be a little bit better in terms of a hold. So if you're somebody that has a style, wants to push it back and have it stay, this is an amazing option. Next up is a hair clay. Clays are crazy popular and pretty much any hair product company is gonna have a clay in their line, right? Clays are gonna be a medium to upper medium hold, low shine, right? In terms of shine, it's gonna be about a 1. In terms of hold, it's gonna be about a 6, all right? Now, the one caveat to shine is how you apply it. So if you're somebody that's applying your product, right, in wet or damp hair, your hair is typically gonna look shiny or wet until you get in there, mess it up to actually break up the hair strands, or you actually use a hair dryer, or like I was saying earlier, how you apply and how you style also makes a big difference. If you dry your hair and then apply a product, it's gonna have a lot more of the natural components to that product. But there is a learning curve. With any hair product, that's the one thing you gotta understand. All right, you've got to understand that it's going to take a few times of using a product, styling it, trying it, styling it in different ways, with heat, without heat, by itself, damp hair, dry hair, to really find the style perfection that you're going for, right? Don't just try a product once and think, oh, my hair doesn't look super good and so I'm throwing it out, right? Try it a few more times. There is a learning curve. You also need to make sure that you emulsify. Emulsification is essentially activating the hair product, all right? Whether or not it's a pomade, a paste, a cream, or a clay or a putty, right? You got to take a little and you've got to emulsify it, all right? Emulsification is basically making sure that that product is activated. It's heating it up. You heat it up and then, right, it's almost gonna like disappear and then you apply into your hair, right? That's the proper way to apply pretty much any hair product. You also need to make sure you get it down to the roots. The other pro tip I'd like to give you is less is more. All right, one of the mistakes people make is thinking that, all right, my hair isn't staying or it's not holding or it doesn't look the way I want it to, and so I need to use more. Typically, if it's not working, it's not the right product. Next up is the OG of styling products, pomades. Pomades are still super popular, right? They're gonna have about a 7 in terms of hold, a 7 in terms of shine. These are great for shorter hairstyles, right? Hairstyles like the slick back or the comb over, right? Or just adding a little bit of something to your hair, a little bit of shine, a little bit of hold. Typically, pomades are better for the shorter styles, all right? Now, the one thing you gotta understand, if you are using a pomade that is non-water-based, it's gonna be very difficult to get out of your hair, right? What I personally would look for with any hair product is to make sure that it is water-based so that when you actually get in the shower, it will wash out or rinse out with simply water. I think of a pomade as kind of like the gateway hair product drug, right? Most guys that get into styling their hair start with a pomade. They'll try it, they'll be like, I'm not really loving it, and then they'll find a better hair product that's more suited for the style that they're going for, all right? The next product I'd like to talk about is this. It is the Putty. It is a high hold. It is also a low shine. In terms of hold, it's going to be about an 8. In terms of shine, it's gonna be about a 3. Putty is what I use, all right? This is gonna be high hold, low shine. It also is incredibly versatile. But the one thing you gotta understand is that when you're using some type of high hold, low shine product, right, like a putty, it is gonna be a lot of times difficult to like dig out of the container, right? It's not bad, it's just the way that the product is, right? That's how it offers the high hold, the low shine, right? Once again, you put it in dry hands. That's another pro tip. Don't try to emulsify with damp hands. It doesn't work, it just smears, all right? Dry hands, get your palms, and work it together. Heat it up, gentlemen, heat it up, emulsification, and then apply, all right? That is the proper technique. The putty I love, right? It's been the product that I've been using for years. I also use it with a sea salt spray, and then, like I said, I cocktail on top with the texturizing powder just because I love the way that my hair basically feels and looks, all right? Another product that I want to talk about that I didn't earlier is this, and that is gel. It's going to have max shine, max hold. It's also going to make your hair typically pretty crunchy or wet looking, but if you're somebody that is going for like a super shiny, spiky look, this is going to be what you're going to look for. Or if you're going for like a slick back and you do not want your hair to move, this is what you're going to look for, all right? Other than that, there is hairspray, right? Hairspray basically is not a product that I recommend all that much these days. And the reason is because it does basically stiffen your hair. I personally like and think that hair that has a little bit of natural movement to it, that's less crunchy, looks a little bit better, right? It's more natural, it's more flowing, it's more sexy, honestly. But the cool thing is that if you are somebody that basically wants to style your hair and then set it and forget it and not have it move throughout the day, you can always come back and cocktail the last step with a hairspray on top of the style to make sure that it doesn't move. The last pro tip I'd like to give you guys is about thinner fine hair, right? One of the problems that I see guys having or making is when they actually have thin or fine hair, they use a heavy product that basically clumps the hairs together. This is bad. When you have thin or fine hair, you want to look for something that's lighter, that's going to add basically bulk or thickness to the individual hair strand to make your hair look thicker. A few tips is the sea salt spray is a must. Also, texturizing powder is great for you guys out there that have thin or fine hair. If you let it grow, that's also a problem. Long, thin hair looks thinner and stringier. Instead, go and get a better cut. Like we said, a lot of it does boil down to cut. In terms of a product for styling, I would definitely recommend a hair clay. It's going to be a matte product, which isn't going to clump together. It's also going to be a little bit lighter and not quite as much hold, but it's going to give that hair a little bit more volume, a little bit more bulk, and definite sexiness, but still allow you to control it and style it the way that you want. Guys, if you want to check out any of the products, I'm going to link down below to Pete and Pedro. There's also a discount code. All of our products are paraben and sulfite free, which means they are good for your hair. The other thing we have is a hair product recommendation quiz. If you guys aren't sure what product is going to be perfect for your hair, I would highly recommend taking it. It's totally free. You tell us what hairstyle, how much hold, how much shine you're looking for, and we're going to make a custom recommendation for you. The bottom line is this: when your hair looks good, you feel good. Now, hopefully, yours looks better.